Hello everyone. In this lecture 34, we will learn how to run the payroll and also see the remuneration statement. Remuneration statement is nothing but the payslip. So let's see how to run the payroll. I am basically showing you how to run the payroll for USA. So payroll is executed through the transaction code PC00 underscore M10 underscore cal C. But before you even run the payroll, you have to make sure that you release the payroll area. Why? Because when you release the payroll area, the master data records for the past and present will be locked so that no changes can be made. So once you execute this transaction code, the next screen appears. In this screen, you will basically enter the payroll area and also the payroll period for which you want to run the payroll. So this payroll period will automatically come by default because from the control record, the moment you release the payroll, the system knows for which payroll period the payroll is supposed to be run. So you can also enter the employee number if you want to run separately for one employee. And then some of the other things also you can make the settings here, like the test run. If you checkbox this test run, so the payroll run will be performed but the database will not be updated, means the payroll results will not be updated in the database. In the test run, when you run it, you will be able to see if there are any errors. If there are any errors, then you go and correct those errors and again run the payroll. If there are no errors, then you can basically remove this checkbox and again run the payroll. And this display log, there is a log option. Display log means it will display all the results. And the last one is the remuneration statement. Remuneration statement basically is the payslip. So you can enter the remuneration statement variant name here. So what is remuneration statement? It is the payslip. So based on the requirement of the company, the programmer can design the payslip. So these are the important things. But the most important thing in this screen is the schema. What is schema? The schema is the instruction which gives to the payroll driver like to run the payroll. So schema is basically list of instructions which it tells the system like how to run the payroll and what exactly the output should come from the payroll. So this is how you run the payroll. Now, remuneration statement, I told you, it refers to the payslip for the employee and it contains all the payments and deduction data in clear format. Now, when you want to see the remuneration statement, there are two ways. One way is that even in the payroll driver screen, you can enter the remuneration statement form name. If you don't want to see from here, then basically you have a separate transaction code through which you can access the payslip. That is nothing but remuneration statement. Let's go to SAP and see how to basically run the payroll. Now, I am basically going to the same navigation path here. I am first releasing the payroll because I have to log the master record. I am clicking on the release payroll area here. So, okay, the payroll area is already released. So let me go to the control record. Okay, I'll show you from the beginning what you have to do it. Okay, so before I release the payroll, there should be a control record, right? So let me first create the control record. So PA03 is the transaction code to create the control record for your payroll area. I am entering into this transaction code PA03 and then entering my payroll area and then clicking on create. The moment I click create, this payroll control record screen comes up. Now I have to enter some payroll period. I am entering 1/2014. So remember here, if you enter 1/2014 and then when you release the payroll, it will release for the second period. So make sure you always enter payroll period less than like one number less for the actual period. Like if you're running the payroll for period 2, then you should enter the payroll period 01. Why? When you release the payroll, automatically this number will basically get increased by 1. So now I'm entering 0 2014, and earliest retro period also I'm giving the same. Like I'm telling the system, if there are some retro changes, like if you have to calculate any back changes, like, so then you can go maximum up to this period. So this is how you basically create the control record. When I created the control record, now I have to release the payroll. When I click on release payroll, see, first of all, control record is very important, because without control record you cannot run the payroll, and there is no way that the payroll can run without a control record. So I have created a control record. Okay, now I am releasing the payroll. If I release the payroll, the system message is saying, do you want to release the period 2? Yes. So if you remember the control record, I have given the payroll period 01. Why? Because I have to run the payroll for 02. The reason, because when you click on release payroll, automatically the number gets increased by 1, which is nothing but 2. So system is basically giving me information message, do you really want to release the period for 2? So make sure, oh yes, I want to run the payroll for 2. That's right. So then click on yes. Now the payroll has been released. It means the master data have been locked. Now you go to this transaction code to run the payroll. So what I am doing, I am basically clicking on this transaction code. This screen comes up. So what are the 4 important things I told you in the slides you have to enter? The first thing is your payroll area. After you enter your payroll area, hit enter. See, the period automatically came up. Why? Because in the control record, this is the latest period right now. So this payroll period came up from the control record. And now if you want to run for one employee, so I am just trying to run for an employee, but in real scenarios, in the real time, the payroll will be run for the payroll area. So what happens, it will run for all the employees who belong to this payroll area in real world. But now I am just running for one person. This sometimes occasionally comes when you want to run off cycle, like apart from the regular, if you want to run off cycle payroll for some employees, if you want to give him bonus or something like that, then in that cases you run a payroll for separately for that employee. But in real time, no, you will run the payroll for the payroll area itself. You don't even put the employee number, because you know you are trying to run the payroll for the complete group of people, right? But in this example, I am just trying to show you how we basically run a payroll for a one number. I am again entering my payroll area. See here, payroll area, second period, it came up from the control record. I am entering my employee number. I again enter the payroll area. Now I am basically entering my schema. So I told you schema is basically, it's the instructions given to the system. So now I am basically ticking this checkbox, test run, to make sure there are no errors, and also I want to see the log, and then I want to see the remuneration statement. After I fill up all these details, then I go and click on execute. So when it says selected personal numbers 1 and successful is 1, meaning that the successful personal number means this number which I basically selected in the screen. So the payroll ran successfully. Now if you want to see the remuneration statement from here, from this screen, click on the form, because remuneration statement in technical words is a form. Actually it's a payslip. When you click on form, see, it shows you the complete payslip. If you remember this amount 870 in my previous lecture of wage type, I created, right, 870, and I also told you during that lecture that you have to give a wage type short text, because that short text will appear on the payslip. See, this wage type text is shown on the payslip, and it shows me the name of the employee, the check number if it is there, check date, pay period for this month, February, employee number, all other details. So this is how you basically access the remuneration statement. Now I'm going back. So once I see there are no errors, I'm okay to run the payroll without the test run. So I'm removing the checkbox, and then so that it basically updates the database table with the payroll results. So now it has basically run, and also it shows me all these amounts like paid, what is the total net, because I just created one wage type. If you go to info type 8 of this employee, it has only one amount, that is nothing but 870. That is the reason why it is just showing this amount. So if you go to info type 8 PA30 and go to this employee, go to info type 8 and then just see. So if you see here, only one amount 870 is there. That is the reason why in the payslip also only one amount is shown. If you have couple of wage types, more than one wage type was there, then definitely it would have shown up in the payslip. So this is how you run the payroll, and then you see the remuneration statement. Another way of seeing the remuneration statement is, there is a transaction code called PC00 underscore M10 underscore CEDT. When you click on this, this screen comes up. Now, what is this screen? This is specifically for remuneration statement, meaning that this particular screen will allow you to change the different forms and see how the remuneration statement will look like. So it's basically like there will be so many forms developed by the ABAPer. So if a company likes the one which they are really looking for, they can go. If they don't like that, then they will ask the programmer to design a new payslip for the company. So let's see how we can see the different payslips here. I'm entering the payroll area here, and I'm entering the employee number 565. I'm entering the payroll area CM. So now I'm executing it. See, I just entered these details. I'm using this form, which is US01, some standard form. When I execute this, see, now the layout of the remuneration statement is totally different. Why? It is showing me the wage type number as well as the long text and rate, number, amount, and these details. And see, it showed me the SSN number, for which period, for February, and all other details. So this is the way how the remuneration statement works. So there are so many forms here. So basically what you can do, you can see, I mean, you can run with different forms to see, like, you know, is it really meeting the requirement or not. So that's the way how. Now if at all if the company says no, we are trying to find a new design, then once they give the design to the ABAPer, then ABAPer will create the remuneration statement, custom remuneration statement, which is basically Z. So it starts with Z, for example here. So for example, ABAPer must have created this one, ZUTF. Now when you execute this one, so the layout could have been different. So that's the only difference. So hope you understood how to run the payroll. Before you run the payroll, you have to make sure that you release the payroll, and once you run the payroll in test run, if there are no errors, then you can run the payroll without the test run, and then also see the remuneration statement. You can try yourself with different employee numbers and whatever the payroll area you have created. Thank you.